Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan. This was supposed to be the industry's true generational clash. The superhero of the golden era versus the anti-hero of the attitude era. Two icons with completely opposite philosophies, Hogan telling kids to say their prayers and eat their vitamins, Austin chugging beers and flipping off his boss. When Hogan returned in 2002, WWE wanted and planned for Austin versus Hogan at WrestleMania 18. But Austin refused. He wasn't interested in working with Hogan, didn't like the match layout being pitched, and felt the chemistry wasn't right. So WWE pivoted, gave Hogan to The Rock instead, and they created an all-time classic. Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero and Shawn Michaels were two of the most complete performers ever. High-flying, technical, charismatic, and brilliant storytellers. In 2005, both men were at the top of their game, WWE was heavily featuring them, and reports suggested WWE was planning Michaels versus Guerrero for WrestleMania 22. But Eddie's passing in late 2005 ended those plans before the build even started. Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle. For pure wrestling fans, this is the ultimate technical showdown that never happened. Bret Hart was the gold standard of the 90s. Kurt Angle was the next evolution in the 2000s. In an Inside the Ropes interview, Angle says he called Bret Hart in 2002 and pitched him a match for WrestleMania 18. But Bret had recently had a stroke on top of the career-ending concussion he suffered, so he had to decline the offer. Brock Lesnar versus Batista. Brock Lesnar and Batista came from the same OVW class, the most stacked rookie group WWE ever had. Both eventually became champions with massive crossover appeal. One became a UFC heavyweight champion, the other a Hollywood star. Two of the best physiques in wrestling history. But somehow they never crossed in the ring. There are rumors that the initial plan after they debuted was for both men to go undefeated for almost a whole year, and then go head-to-head against each other at WrestleMania 19 in a streak versus streak match. This was even teased when they clashed horns at the Royal Rumble in 2003. But Batista suffered a torn triceps muscle shortly after debuting, and plans for this were forced to be scrapped. Undertaker versus Andre the Giant. When The Undertaker debuted in 1990, fans immediately imagined him facing Andre the Giant. In a 2017 interview, Undertaker said that Andre was ready to work with him at some point and already had an idea planned for their matchup, but unfortunately, Andre's health was declining. Andre passed in 1993, ending their plans for this dream matchup. Stone Cold versus Brock Lesnar. In 2002, Brock Lesnar had just debuted, and WWE was pushing him as the next big thing. Stone Cold was still a fan favorite and an established icon of the business. But WWE booked this match as a spontaneous King of the Ring qualifier on Raw with zero build. Austin refused. He didn't want to give away a pay-per-view level match with no storyline, and he definitely wasn't agreeing to lose in this match to an up-and-coming talent with no angle or plan moving forward. So Austin walked out, and the match was cancelled. Hulk Hogan versus John Cena. Hulk Hogan defined WWE in the 80s and early 90s. John Cena defined WWE in the 2000s and 2010s. Hogan has stated in multiple interviews that in 2009, the plan was for Cena to take on Hogan for the championship at WrestleMania 25. But it was unfortunately cancelled due to Hogan's back requiring emergency surgery just months before the event. Undertaker versus Sting. WWE versus WCW. Vigilante versus Deadman. The visual alone sold the match. There were two real chances to make it happen. The first was in 2001. During the Invasion, if Sting had signed, this could have been the marquee WCW vs WWE showdown. And the second was in 2014. When Sting finally joined WWE, there were real discussions and plans around this match actually happening. But by this time, both men were too beat up for a match of that scale, and Sting's injury in 2015 against Seth Rollins ended the conversations for good. CM Punk versus Stone Cold. During the summer of Punk, this dream match was gaining steam and was teased several times. In an interview for the WWE 13 video game, Jim Ross asked Punk and Austin about a potential dream matchup and got heated responses from the two, which fans saw as a tease from WWE for a future match. In 2012, Punk was WWE Champion, hotter than ever, and Austin vocalized his admiration and desire to work with Punk on several occasions, but Austin's body wasn't cooperating. His overall condition made a comeback risky. By the time his body was ready to have one last match at WrestleMania 38, Punk had left WWE and was wrestling in AEW. Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan. This wasn't just a dream match, it was a storyline that practically wrote itself. Shawn Michaels trained Daniel Bryan in the late 90s. So when Bryan became the hottest star in the company, fans naturally wanted the student to face the master. In late 2013, the crowd was fully behind him, and then HBK super kicked him during the Authority storyline. It felt like WWE was setting up a teacher vs. student showdown. But Vince ultimately couldn't convince Shawn to come out of retirement. The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. Two of the most charismatic performers ever. The timing was ideal after Shawn's return in 2002. HBK was delivering classics every month, and The Rock was still working part-time while transitioning into Hollywood. The window was open, but backstage history shut it down. Rock never forgot how Shawn treated him in the late 90s. Even after HBK cleaned up his life, the tension never disappeared. Rock had no interest in working with him, and so WWE halted plans for a match between them every time it was discussed. Sting versus the Ultimate Warrior. This dream match has a special kind of nostalgia behind it, because Sting and the Ultimate Warrior actually started together. In 1998, when Warrior signed with WCW, rumors of a match between Warrior and Sting were prevalent. But unfortunately, his run with WCW was short and messy, and only lasted a few months. The angle never had time to develop, and there was never another chance for the two to clash. Goldberg versus Stone Cold. Two bald, goatee-wearing main eventers, exploding crowds and causing carnage in the ring. The fantasy booking for this match was in 1998 during the Monday Night War, when both men were at their absolute peak. But with one in WCW and the other in WWF, it was never realistically happening. The real chance came in 2003, when Goldberg finally signed with WWE. And then timing killed it. Whenever one was healthy, the other was injured. By the time both men were finally settled in under the same roof, Austin was on the verge of retirement. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This is the modern dream match, the one WWE teased for years, and it actually got announced before being cancelled at the last second. At WrestleMania 40, WWE finally pulled the trigger. The match was announced. The graphics were made. The face-off happened on TV. It was supposed to be the ultimate payoff to years of storytelling. Then everything flipped. Cody Rhodes came in with massive momentum. He had fallen short at WrestleMania 39, won the Royal Rumble again, and the entire fan base expected him to finish the story against Roman. WWE pivoted. Cody was put back into the Roman match, Rock turned heel to fit the new direction, and the long-teased Rock vs. Roman showdown was quietly cancelled. That's every major dream match that almost happened, explained. Please like the video and subscribe for more.